I'm gonna be showing some of the things I've recently bought, some of the things I have laying around here, and so that you can, that show that you can see and you can know what I've been buying, what I've been listening to, and stuff like that. Okay, so here we go. First of all, this is not a listening. This is a tribute to one of my favorite all-time actors, Mr. Chuck Norris, who sadly passed away recently. And this is the latest movie I bought from him. This is Code of Silence, and this is not your typical run-of-the-mill, fists and cups and and cuffs. Actually, it's not your traditional movie, your traditional Chuck Norris film, actually, where he's all gung ho, and alone and without even reloading his weapon, he can shoot unprecedented numbers of bullets. Right? No, that's not the thing right here. It's not that kind of a movie. It's a cool movie, and I haven't seen this in a while. I hope to check it out real soon. So this is my little tribute to Chuck Norris, just to start things off. Then actually, I got here another curio. This is Slade in Flames. So this is the movie, a movie about the band Slade and about some of the stories. This is from 1975 or 76, if I'm not mistaken. So this is prior to that old Spinal Tap thing. This is probably one of the main influences Rob Reiner had, for doing that movie. And this is got some really cool stuff that happened throughout their career. Some of them to personally to the band, and others times to bands they played with, that they shared the road with. So it's a nice curio. It's a nice little piece of history, and it's been remastered for DVD and Blu-ray. This is actually, yeah, this is double feature. It's got the DVD and the Blu-ray. I believe there's no difference, just no difference between contents between the both the formats. And what's okay? Let's go to the music right now. This is what's important, what you came for, right? So this, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm a massive, huge new wave of British heavy metal fan, and not also not from the traditional bands, but some of the less known, the curios, the bands that only released one album, released a single, an EP. This is one of those cases where they only released at least, through normal channels. Let's say that, they only released two songs. The band is called Aragorn, and the songs in question are Black Ice and Noonday, and it was a seven-inch single. And then they spruce it up to a 14-track release where they got everything from. This is a pearl from the new wave of British heavy metal, exclusive edition, Brazilian edition, actually. Originally released in 1981. So this is this label, this Helion label, as Brazilian label, has dedicated itself to releasing some very, very interesting records. This is one of them. I have many of their records around here somewhere, but this one is the latest one. I one of the latest I achieved. I got, and it's a very good record. Okay, next, what have we got? Well, I've got some Rat here, with Tony Catan on the cover. This is the latest reissue from their first release, from their first album, Out of the Cellar. I've been a massive Rat fan since the time I saw that the movie with Eddie Murphy. I saw The Golden Child, and when he was going to the biker's place, the song that was playing on the TV was Body Talk. I know your body talk. You make my body talk when you're next to me. So I kind of, I fell in love with them there and then, Then so that's, the rest is history. And then what have I got here? This beautiful. I don't know if you can see this through the camera, but this is a 3D, cover of Grateful Dead, Working Man's Dead. So this is their, more laid back Americana face, but it's still awesome records. I do love me some Grateful Dead. Have a lot of records from them. Oh, Slade, Till Death Do Us Part. This is a reissue by BMG, and he's got an extra track called Rock and Roll Preacher, Hallelujah, I'm on Fire, a radio edit of that. So it's a cool record, I honestly believe they never made a bad record in their entire career, but that's another thing. That's my opinion. And this is an awesome band, awesome band. This is instrumental in glam, punk, heavy metal, progressive, whatever you want to call it. This is one of the most important bands ever, on any genre that's got some heaviness to it. So it's an awesome record, and I like the cover with this this nail going into his ear. What else have I got here? Oh, this is a beautiful record from Gentle Giant Alive, and this is a cool slipcase edition of that album. Let's just say what this says here: the iconic 1977 live album, now fully reimagined, mixed, and mastered for an immersive experience. So this is your cool hype sticker right here, a yellow hype sticker, and this is a phenomenal band, one of the best progressive bands ever. You know, Speaking of progressive, gotta have some Zappa, right, man? You gotta have some Zappa in your collection. I have, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I have everything because that is a massive, massive collection to have. That would be actually. I would need all this space just to have the Zappa records, and I need other stuff, not just this. So this is the mother of inventions, one size fits all. So this is he's more, uh, shall I say, disciplined phase, where he used to do these jazz rock records, you know, before he went all 80s experimental, and then he went on the 90s. He went in a different direction altogether. But that's another thing. That's a subject for another talk. But this is a beautiful, beautiful, quirky little box full of stuff, chock full of interesting stuff around. Okay, what do you have next? We have Uriah Heep, actually. One of those bands that it's kind of forgotten in favor of the Black Sabbaths, the Deep Purples, and other stuff. But this is also a very, very instrumental band in the development of everything that is heavy metal, that is heavy music, that is around today. So this collects the live release from 1973 as another CD from 1974, which I believe it's an unreleased, up until now, unreleased album. So it's got the Sweet Freedom album from 1973, Wonderworld from 1974, and then another live record at Shepperton from 1974. So this is a Cherry Red release. Cherry Red has over the years has dedicated itself to releasing some important music, and they continue to do so. So that's kind of cool to have these little boxes where you can have stuff that you can't get, at least officially you can't get through other mediums. So whatever I got here next: Wrathchild America. They're both albums. They're both their releases are here. Climbing the Wall and 3D. Climbing the Walls, actually, plural, and 3D. And I believe there's an edit around here that yeah, there's a Surrounded by Idiots, an edit of a track on the 3D release. So this is kind of hard to get separately. At least the 3D release it's been out of print for years. Their second album, so it's kind of cool to have these quirky little boxes. This is Dissonance Productions, which I believe it's a German label, German-based label. Although right now we don't know what. Okay, what have I got next? This is Ginger Baker, Horses and Trees. Yeah, I believe it was our fellow Substacker, that Andy Edwards, that got me into this record, because this is basically what Bill Laswell, the bass player, did. He kind of tricked Ginger Baker into recording this. He had some songs. He said that he was going to play drums on those songs, and then it became a Ginger Baker release. So this is a fabulous release. It's got Bill Laswell playing Bernie Worrell, and also Al Shankar, the violinist, and who played with John McLaughlin. Yeah, that's it. So this is a cool little digipack. What have I got here? Well, I got me some Beatles. I'm not the greatest Beatles fan around. I'm not. I love some of their albums, Revolver being one of them, and also Beatles for Sale. That kind of more, when they become more I want to say experimental. Yeah, that's what they do. But this is the live at BBC. This is their first release. I believe I have the other one laying around because there are two volumes of this. This is volume one, and this has got chock full of no, it's got some covers. Chuck Berry, I'm seeing here. Yeah, Chuck Berry covers, and yeah, All My Loving, Roll Over Beethoven, Sweet Little 16, all kind of quirky little songs, and it's an awesome record. What else have I got here? Oh my god, I recently, although I have at least their studio releases, I have all of them. Um, but this is a little box set featuring the first releases from Voivod, the Canadian Uber band. I can call them that, because they are great. It's got the Roar release, which is their first one, Killing Technology, Dimension Hatred, and also it's got some demos. Yeah, so this is another one of these quirky little boxes. It wasn't too expensive, actually, so it's kind of cool to have it. What else have I got here? Well, I recently interviewed Dave Fortman from Ugly Kid Joe, so I took that opportunity to start acquiring their singles, because I have all their albums, but some of their singles have got some quirky live songs, some demos, and so this is Cloudy Skies. It's got features 4 tracks: Cloudy Skies, obviously, Tomorrow's World live, Jesus Rode a Harley Davidson live, and Milkman's Son live. And Cats in the Cradle, the Harry Chatton cover they did, which is also incidentally one of their most famous songs, right? It's got Cats in the Cradle, Panhandle and Prince, and Whiplash Liquor and Neighbor live. So this is kind of cool. What have I got here? I got Neighbor, the Neighbor single. This is a cool little item. This one has got Neighbor, has got Everything About You live, and the full-length version of Neighbor. So the first version might be an edit, right? So this is Busy Bee, also Ugly Kid Joe. And this one has got Busy Bee, the full-length version, Come Tomorrow live, Everything About You live, and Don't Go, also a live version. What else have I got here? Some Clawfinger. This is their first release, Deaf, Dumb, and Blind. I also have a box set of this very same release that features. It's a box set that features some demos and some live stuff. But this is the original release. I've never had this before, so this is kind of cool. Also, their second release, User Brain. Also a very cool band. If you know Rammstein, you should know Clawfinger, because Clawfinger came earlier in the mix. So before Rammstein was ever a thing, they all were already doing some awesome records. What else have I got here? Some Bowie. We need to have some Bowie around. This is the celebration of his career. That they've released, I don't know if it's 5 or 6 already. So this covers the Black Tie White Noise, the Budo Suburbia, Outside, Earthling. It's got every one of these boxes features a CD called Recall, and it's got all sorts of curio, all sorts of demos, TV performances, and whatever. So it's the only CD that's exclusive to these box sets up until now, at least. So that's kind of an interesting item to have. I'm actually missing the first one. Yeah, the first one that covers the first part of his career, and also the one where Diamond Dogs is included. Yeah, that one I don't have yet. I don't have that box set. I'm hunting down. It's just hoping that someday it'll come to at least a good price, because the prices right now are completely off the chart. What else have I got here that I can show? Oh, this is a nice item, a Creedence Clearwater Revival tape. Ever since I saw the movie with the dude, the Big Lebowski. Yeah, since I saw that movie, and I saw that the guy was, just over, and was really frustrated for losing his Creedence tape. So I got me a Creedence tape too. So man, yeah. So this is a live gig. This is a very cool curio. What have I got here? Some John Lee Hooker, always got to have some John Lee Hooker around. Cynic, Euroboric forms, What else? What else? What else have I got here that I haven't shown? Well, I got me some Zebra, progressive hard rock from the great Canada. This is for the mixtape, dedicated to mixtape. I'm only missing their first release because their first release has got, the prices have spiked, recently, so I haven't gotten to that one yet. What else have I got here? I got here Nick Mason. I've shown this in a previous note that I published. This is Fictitious Sports, the jazzy experimental avant-garde Nick Mason project, which is probably one of my favorite solo releases by any member of Pink Floyd. So this is a cool curio. What else have I got here lying around? I have Gary Newman, the new edition of Telecon. I also bought this on vinyl. Don't ask me why, but the vinyl was very beautiful, more so than the CD release. But I tend to listen to CDs more, So that's kind of a thing. Okay, what have I got? I got some Corrosion of Conformity here. Wise Blood. Nice little cassette tape. I do love me those cassettes that have those, this piercing in. It's got some like a front and a back, I like that thing, What else have I got? Oh, I got here Gun, the Irish band. This is Swagger. Many years ago, they had a hit with a song called "I'm Gonna Steal Your Fire." This is not in here. That song is from Gallus, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. But this one is a very cool re-release of their first album. Yes, Swagger, I believe it's their first album. If it's not, sue me. Correct me in the comments. So this has got the album, it's got bonus tracks, and it's got a second CD full of live tracks, edits, and remixes. So this is a cool, very cool release. And that's it. Hope you enjoy. If you do, I might do some more of these, just to show some items from my collection. Hope you're all well. Be safe, and see you next time.